Welcome back to TTS Daily with me, Yi. You can hear from my voice today, I'm actually having a flu. So a 13-year-old girl in Singapore was spotted vaping outside the state courts in Chinatown on April 24, 2025, behaving erratically, having an unsteady gait and oblivious to her surroundings. She's probably already in the cosmos among the stars in the outer space by then, okay? The age of the vapor, 13-year-old, a minor, is already wild on its own, and to dare doing something so illegal as vaping outside the state courts is another level of its own. The Health Science Authority HSA identified her and raided her residence, seizing an e-vaporizer containing etomidate, an anesthetic agent used in clinical settings. Number 1, vaping is super illegal in Singapore. Number 2, etomidate is only supposed to be used in clinical settings, okay? The effects of etomidate consist but not limited to nausea, vomiting, muscle spasms, altered breathing, blood pressure, seizure, psychosis, and requires medical supervision. The girl is currently assisting with ongoing investigations. HSA has traced the vape to a 25-year-old seller along with his 26-year-old wife, who are also assisting in investigations. 1 vape and 3 pods were seized from the seller, also containing etomidate, okay? And then there's also a separate news where a 36-year-old man was filmed vaping on an MRT train, with the video posted on social media on April 18, 2025. HSA has raided his residence but found no vapes, and he claimed that he has discarded the device. Investigations are currently ongoing. Once again, vaping is highly illegal. HSA encourages the public to report vaping incidents with clear photos, videos to HSA_TRB at hsa.gov.sg, and information on any illegal vape activities can be reported due to these numbers during office hours. Okay? Once again, buying, possessing, or using vapes is illegal, okay? And offenders face fines up to 2,000 Singapore dollars. Possession, use of vapes with etomidate carries penalties up to 2 years in jail, 10,000 Singapore dollars fine, or both. And for context, in Singapore, parents, take note of this, parents, okay? Parents who report their children for vaping will not face penalties or fines, and their children will also not be fined. This has been confirmed by the Minister of State for Health, Rahayu Mazam, clarified on March 3, 2025, that children reported by their parents for vaping are exempt from fines to encourage parental intervention without fear of punitive consequences, okay? So take note of this, parents. It's time to take action. Vaping is illegal, even more worse if they are using vape pods containing etomidate, okay? Most of us in Singapore by now would have heard of this news where a beloved community cat named King Kong in Yishun was found tortured and unalive. He was found unalive on May 9, 2025 near Yishun Orlando Breeze, and King Kong's body was cut by a sharp object with his guts exposed, and eyes also appeared to be gouged out. King Kong's dedicated feeders have now set up a memorial at Block 511A Yishun Street 51 with bouquets of flowers, cat food, treats, and a framed photo of King Kong. This memorial will be open for public respects for 1 week, after which it will be cleared. National Parks Board NParks is investigating, and NParks encourages reporting animal cruelty via its website or its Animal Response Center hotline shown here. Take note, photographic and video evidence from the public is crucial for investigations, and this act of animal cruelty has been condemned by animal lovers groups and Law Minister K. Shanmugam as an act of appalling cruelty. Okay, just a quick update on Trump tariffs war with China. So now, the US and China has come out with a joint statement on tariff suspension and trade talks. So the US tariff will be reduced from 145% to 30% on Chinese imports, while Chinese tariff reduction will reduce from 125% to 10% on US imports, and it will be effective on May 14, 2025 for a duration of 90 days suspension. And during this time, there will be trade discussions to address economic and trade concerns through continued dialogue, and meeting locations will be alternating between China, US, or mutually agreed third country. Hopefully, we can finally get a trade deal going on, and green days are finally coming back. We are going back to the moon, hopefully. And it is also something that I've been covering for the past few weeks, and we also have already expected that these tariff wars will be suspended between US and China while they negotiate for a trade deal. A tragic incident happened over last Mother's Day in Perak, where a young male elephant, approximately 5 years old, was unalive after being hit by a lorry on the east-west highway Gerik-Jeli at around 2 AM May 11, 2025, which is also Mother's Day. The lorry was transporting chickens and the driver, who is 28 years old, reported a large elephant grazing on the road's right shoulder and believed it was safe to proceed. But an elephant calf suddenly emerged from the forest on the left, attempting to cross, and the short distance prevented the driver from stopping in time, resulting in a fatal collision. The mother elephant, estimated 25 to 27 years old, stayed by her motionless calf under the lorry. Pressing her head against the vehicle in an apparent attempt to free it, she remained with the calf's remains for over 5 hours, showing distress while trying to nudge the lorry. Authorities finally sedated her to calm her and relocate her to a safer forest area. The Perak Wildlife Protection and National Parks Department was informed at 3:30 AM and deployed staff to monitor and capture the mother elephant. The calf's carcass was removed from under the lorry and will be buried. The driver is unharmed, and initial findings confirmed that the calf's sudden crossing led to the unavoidable collision. Viral videos of the mother elephant's grief, especially so it being Mother's Day, sparked widespread sympathy online. Netizens have expressed heartache, noting the mother's anxious and worried behaviour, with some even questioning the driver's speed in an elephant-frequented area. So the WWF Malaysia, Worldwide Fund for Nature Malaysia, have highlighted the inadequacy of existing signboards to slow traffic in wildlife crossing zones after this tragedy and urged immediate measures, including installing speed bumps at key crossing points to prevent further wildlife casualties. And there was a follow-up viral TikTok video which shows a lone elephant, allegedly the mother elephant, searching for her calf at the same accident site, which has been now debunked, confirming that it showed a different elephant. The mother elephant is under continued monitoring to ensure her safety. And for our last story of the day, we are officially 1 year old on social media right now. That's right. So it has been exactly 1 year since we post on YT, you know YT, and TT. So yeah, we're 1 year old right now. So we're gonna do a bit of a Q&A. People have been asking, Yi, why do you keep saying last story of the day? Well, because that is the last video featured for that day, even though sometimes the last story of the day doesn't happen to be the last video uploaded, because sometimes, I do make mistakes, sometimes I make recording mistakes, or sometimes I even forget to upload the recorded video. So sometimes the last story of the day does appear in the middle of the uploads instead of being the last. Second question is, why do you have to speak so fast? Well, because of algorithm purposes, it's actually more beneficial to speak faster than slower due to algorithm and how, our attention span now it's getting smaller and smaller. Humans' attention span is getting smaller. So I need to speak faster. I can speak, in a shorter time, slower, but less context. But the thing is, I prefer to cover news with more context, because I don't like to give, short summaries. So we have a limited time period and we want to cover a lot of context, which means I have to speed up. I need to do a lot of re-recordings to get all the context in a shorter space as possible. And another question people ask is, why are you just reading off the news? Well, think of us as a curated source of news that you might find enjoyable, because we don't have time to keep up with all the news all over the world, and we only focus mostly on news that has social awareness, meaningfulness to it, and we cover such news mostly. What else? What's next in the future of TTS, the Talk Squad? Well, as you can see, I'm having a sore throat right now. My voice isn't exactly the best, but it being our 1 year birthday, I guess it is natural that we have to keep recording. The most important thing is, going forward, we should be expanding, probably going to live streams, probably doing Get Ready With Me while streaming. And then also, hopefully we will be able to diverge out to other channels. It's still all in the plans. Take note, this was started as a, passion project, doing everything out of pocket for us, which is still, there is no way for us to monetize as of this point, because hopefully people can give us more support over at our YT side, because there is no way as of right now for Singapore content creators to monetize their content for ad revenue over at TT Singapore. But you can do so if you help give us your support on our YT long form formats. Take note, all of our daily stories are compiled into one long video at our YT page daily. We will start pushing YT more aggressively, including some giveaways. So please take note and share with us, any feedback, comments, We take in everything, and thank you so much for your support. For the past 1 year, it has not been easy, but we will keep pushing forward. Thank you and have a good day.